Hello, in this video we're going to be looking at multiplying fractions. So that is our intention, that by the end of this video lesson we're going to be able to multiply fractions, and I'm sure you will be delighted to learn that multiplying fractions is actually much easier than adding and subtracting fractions. So let's look at an example here. We've got 2/3, we want to multiply that by 4/5, and when we multiply fractions, all we need to do is take these top numbers, the numerators, and we multiply those guys together. So I'd have to do 2 times 4, which is 8. And then I'd do the same thing for the denominators. So that's 3 times 5. It just multiplies straight across like that. 3 times 5 is 15. So I find that my answer is 8/15. So if I do 2/3 times 4/5, the answer I get is 8/15. Okay, let's try another. Okay, here I've got 3/4. I want to multiply that by 5/8 this time. Let's do the same as we did before. Multiply these guys together, the 3 times 5, that's 15. Multiply these guys together, the 4 times the 8, that's 32. So that means that when I do 3/4 multiplied by 5/8, the answer I get is equal to 15/32. Okay, another example now, where we're going to have just one extra step in our working here, because everything else starts out exactly the same. We're going to do our denominators multiplied together. We're going to do our numerators multiplied together. So that's 2 times 3 is 6. And we've got, that is equal to 5 times 4, which is 20. So I've got 6/20, but, and you might have already spotted what I'm going to do here, we can simplify this fraction, can't we? Because 6 and 20 both have a common factor, don't they? They're both in the 2 times table, so I can divide this by 2 and I can divide this by 2 to find an equivalent fraction which is simpler, and that should be my answer. So instead of 6, I'm going to have a 3, and instead of 20, I'm going to have a 10. So my answer, when I do 2/5 times 3/4, is 3/10, which is the same as 6/20, but this is how I want to leave my answer because this is the simplest form. I can simplify this fraction, so that's what I should do. In the previous examples, there wasn't any way to there wasn't any way to simplify this answer. 15 and 32 don't have any common factors, so there's nothing I can divide them both by. But here, I can divide them both by, in this case, 2, so that's what I should do. Let's do another one like that. Okay, so we've got 2/9 multiplied by 3/4 this time. So on the top, I'm going to have to do 2 times the 3, which is 6. On the bottom, I'm going to have to do the 9 times the 4, which is 36. And now that's the first part of my answer sorted, but I need to do some simplifying still here. And now there's a few different ways that we could simplify this. Can you spot a common factor of both 6 and 36? Well, they're definitely both even numbers, aren't they? So maybe we could start by dividing everything by 2. So how many 2's make 6? 3 of them. How many 2's make 36? 18 of them. But I can't stop here because there's still a little bit more simplifying to do. What times table has both 3 and 18 in it? Well, those are both in the 3 times table, aren't they? So I could do one more step of simplifying here. How many 3's make 3? 1 of them. How many 3's make 18? 6 of them. So my answer is 1/6. Maybe I'll add on a little bit more working so we can see what's happened there. So how did I get from this 6 to the 3? I divided by 2. Divide by 2, and because I divided by 2 on the top, I had to do the same on the bottom, divide by 2. And then what did I do? Well, I spotted that 3 and 18 are both in the 3 times table, so I could do one more step of simplifying. I could divide by 3 on the top, and I could divide by 3 on the bottom as well. Remember, when we're simplifying, we have to divide by the same thing on the top and on the bottom. And then when I get to this final answer here, there's no more simplifying to be done there because there's nothing I can divide both 1 and 6 by to make a simpler fraction. So that's where we leave it. That's my final answer. The answer is 1/6. You might have spotted that there was a faster way that we could get there because 6 and 36 are actually both in the 6 times table. So what we could have done is we could have sort of bypassed these 2 steps and just gone straight away, divide by 6. So we'd go, how many 6's make 6? It's 1 of them when I divide that by 6. I'd get straight away to 1. And how many 6s make 36? It's 6 of them when I divide by 6. So there might be a faster way of getting there to our simplified answer if we do it all in one step, or we might choose to do it in 2 smaller steps if you don't spot that big step straight away. One more example where we've got some simplifying to do. And same as before, we are going to multiply together our numerators. So 5 times 1 comes first. That's 5, obviously. The next one, we're going to have 6 times 10. 6 times 10 is 60. So when I do this multiplication, the answer I get is 5/60ths. But there is some simplifying to do here. What times table are 5 and 60 both in? Well, 60 ends in a 0, so it must be in the 5 times table, and 5 is also in the 5 times table. So we can divide by 5. Let's divide by 5 on the top. Let's divide by 5 on the bottom. And what will that give me? How many 5s make 5? How many 5s make 5? 1 of them. 1 5 makes 5. And how many 5s make 60? We could count up in 5s maybe. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. How many was that? It was 12 of them. Good, well done. So my answer when I do 5/6 times 1/10 is I get 1/12. Good, nice one. I'll see you later.